Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to, I think this is episode 33 of Hardcore Minecraft. But today I'm going to be working on a new project, and the first part of that project is going to require me to build a bee farm. So today we're going to build a bee farm, and I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's get right into it. Pillagers. Well, first off I gotta take care of these pillagers. Oh, I should probably put on my better armor, huh? There we go, I took him out. And I got a Bottom and 5 bottle. Wow, that's pretty good. Alright, so the first thing we're going to end up doing today is we're going to be building more paths from this fountain. So if we look at what we have so far, we have this right here, which is taken by that building. We have this, which means I would have to dig out all of that mountain. And then we have this one, which is empty, which is going to most likely be my best option to build the bee farm. So I know down in the chest by my house, I have quite a few resources. I have the endstone and I have some deep slate bricks that I need to build the path with. So like I said, we're going to do a shift from the dark oak and deep slate into the endstone and deep slate. And off camera, once I have time, I'm going to do a little transformation with this path so it makes it more seamless from the dark oak into the deep slate. Alright, and eventually this path is going to keep going this way, but it may ultimately split off into different parts. I honestly don't know yet. Alright, so this build is not very material intensive. It is going to require a lot of yellow wool and yellow concrete. And the design I'm going for is, I'm calling it the burrowed bee. So on the exterior, I tried to make it look like a bee that was kind of burrowed into the ground. You know, it has some dirt scattered on the outside and has a little stinger pointed up. I honestly don't know why I named it that, but when I was building it, that's just what came to my mind. So that's what I ended up doing. So like I was saying, this build is going to require a lot of yellow wool. So I'm going to need to go breed some more of my sheep and dye them all yellow so I can get the correct amount of wool. This build is also going to require a lot of concrete. So I'm going to need to get a lot of sand, gravel, and dye. So if I remember from last time, there were a lot of yellow flowers over here, and I can already see a lot. So we're going to turn these yellow flowers into yellow dye, and that's what we're going to use to dye all of our sheep yellow, because we need all of the wool we can get for this build. Alright, I got half a stack. I'm gonna head back home before it gets too dark. No! There we go. And also, while you're watching this, we are so close to 500 subs, so if you like the video so far, give it a sub, or give it a like. I really appreciate either one. Alright, so I got all 32 yellow dye, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go on a rampage in the pen, and I'm gonna make everyone yellow. There we go, I had way more than I needed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and breed some sheep. And of course, we're going to do this the ethical way. We're going to use shears and we're going to get yellow wool from each one of these. Alright, that's a good haul for my first go around. We're going to keep coming back and we're going to keep shearing these sheep throughout the video. So stay tuned for that, because I know everyone loves sheep shearing. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab enough sand to make the amount of concrete that I'm going to need. So I think if I go to my desert over here and grab 2 stacks of sand, that should be enough. Oh, a sand bunny, oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna grab one more stack. So while we're heading back, I'm just now remembering something. I put Fortune 3 on my shovel, and I don't have a Silk Touch shovel to grab gravel with. So since we don't have the required shovel that we need, let's just go ahead and make a Silk Touch shovel. So I'm gonna have to steal some of the iron I have in this chest. And we're gonna take it down and we're gonna trade it. Alright, 35 emeralds for efficiency 5. I have a few more in there which I'm gonna steal. Of course I'm going to need some more because that's nowhere near enough. A couple more trades. There we go. I know I can go ahead and purchase mending off of this guy. I almost shift clicked that and I almost got like 20 mending books. I'm going to need Unbreaking 3 for 4 emeralds. Wow. And I'm going to need Silk Touch for 9. And there we go. That's all the books I'm going to need. Man, it's been so long since I've named a tool. You know what, I'm going to leave this one up to you guys. You guys are going to be the one that gets to name the shovel, so leave a comment down below of what I should name the shovel, and it's going to be whatever the top comment is. As long as it's legal and appropriate. Shovel with efficiency 5. Unbreaking 3 with mending. Shovel with Unbreaking 3 and mending. No, there goes the anvil. RIP anvil, guys. You know, it lived a good life, but, you know, some things just pass on. There we go, there's our anvil. And last but not least, shovel and Silk Touch. There we go, there's our Silk Touch shovel. Alright, so now that we made that, I pretty much have free roam to get as much gravel as I want. However, I'm having trouble remembering where I can find a lot of gravel at. Is there some down here? Oh, there's a ton down here. Oh my gosh, hold up. Yeah, there's a ton down here. All right, we're clearing all this out. All right, there we go. I got more than 2 stacks of gravel, so we're gonna take this back up. All right, actually, before I forget, I'm gonna need some squid ink. So the squids I saw, did they disappear? No, there's one right there. Okay. I can't remember exactly how much I'm gonna need, but I'm gonna need it for black dye for the black concrete. Oh, I got ocean ambience. Oh my gosh. I almost never get that. Alright, I got 32 ink sacks. That is way more than enough black dye that I'm gonna need. So we're just gonna throw that in the chest for now. Alright, so I'm gonna need 102 yellow concrete, and I am 1 yellow dye short of making enough. So I'm gonna return to the flower field that I just went. You know, we're just here for a little business trip, you know, nothing too special, you know. Here we go. 1 flower. I need to make it yellow dye, and then put it in there, and then do that. There we go. That's enough. 104, we're 2 over. Alright, and I'm gonna need 69 black concrete. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put the sand in, you know, put the gravel in, and go ahead and make that. And 1 more should be enough. So now that we have all the concrete powder, we're gonna need to turn it into actual concrete. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this and I'm just gonna tower up with it. Alright, we're gonna, I don't need to fly, I can just jump. Now what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna keep spamming mine until all these pieces of concrete are gone. Yeah, now the issue with this is there's like some pieces of powder that I'm seeing fly off of it, and I probably shouldn't have done this in the middle of the river. What was I thinking, dude? That's all of our concrete. It is now scattered everywhere. Oh my gosh. Gotta wait for it to all float up. Yeah, I only had a little bit of concrete powder remaining, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do it, I guess, the normal way, you know. I'll do it like how it's supposed to be done. I feel like I'm like a printer though, you know, like when I'm printing out a document or something. I don't know, don't listen to me. Alright, and just like that, all of the concrete is now turned into solid concrete, and that is actually one of the first things that I'm going to be done with. Alright, so while we're waiting, we're going to do another round with the sheep. We're going to go ahead and shear all of them. I'm pretty sure all of them grew up into adults though, so that's good. You know, we're going to get more wool production out of them. Yeah, we got 39. That's actually more than the first batch that we got, so that's really good. Just like that, we already have a full stack. We are pretty much halfway there. So guys, I actually lied to you, and I'm coming clean for the first time ever. I actually needed more gravel. Yep, I was like maybe a stack short, so it wasn't like it's nothing, but you know, it's not a whole lot that I need to get. Oh my gosh. Jeez, man, always getting attacked. I'm just trying to steal your gravel, dude. Alright, and we're also gonna need a stack of dirt. Now, I went ahead and threw all the dirt in the storage system up here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take it back out. Alright, there's our stack of dirt. I'm gonna fly all the way back down, and we're gonna make the coarse dirt that we're gonna need. There we go, there's 2 stacks of it. Alright, so in the item list, I'm gonna need 64 beehives. Now, since I don't have any bees yet, I don't have any honeycomb or wax, beeswax, whatever I need to get a beehive set up. So we're gonna wait and do the beehives at a later time when I have enough beeswax or honeycomb built up. So for now, we're just gonna skip that step. However, one thing I can get is 64 campfires. Ooh, now campfires are gonna require 3 pieces of logs a piece. You know what, I'm just gonna go to the dark oak forest over here, and I'm just gonna cut down another tree or 2. That should honestly get me there. Alright, here we go. The CAMPFIRESONG song. Da 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 campfire song. Alright, there we go. So I have more than 3 stacks of dark oak logs, so we're going to take this back to the base and we're going to use it all on campfires. Wow. So unfortunately, I can't find any coal in my house. However, there's no need to fret because I built a wither skeleton farm and they drop so much coal. I just got to sit there for like, no, my sword. Oh no, I dropped my sword through the portal. Where is it? Oh, thank you. Okay. Alright, yeah, we just gotta sit up here for a few minutes. Actually, never mind, I'm good. All I had to do was go up there for 1 second. So what happened there was I had some items left behind from the last time, and luckily there were 61 coal up there, and I just need 3 for my chest, so... Oh, or 6 right there. Hey, that works too. So now I should be able to make 27. Okay, I need more sticks. Come on. There we go. There's my 64 campfires. Phew, okay. I saw some gravel on my material list and I was like, oh no, I gotta go back and get some more gravel, but I see some in my chest, so we're fine for now. Alright, I'm gonna need some dark oak slabs. I'm gonna need 52 exactly, which is gonna take 26 dark oak planks, and luckily I have 28 in my inventory, so let's go ahead and turn those into 54 slabs, which is 2 more than I need. Alright, so I'm gonna need 32 of any flower. I know on the material list I put it as poppies, but they can really be any flower, and honestly I would prefer it to be different color flowers, you know, to give it a little bit of variety. We're just gonna come back here, we're gonna grab some of these oxeye daisies, you know, gonna grab some azure bluette. I just totally butchered that name. Alright, we're also gonna go back up and we're gonna grab some of these alliums. I think we probably need to be majority alliums because there's just so many back here, it's insane. So I'm gonna grab about 16 of these, I think. 17, I'm gonna throw one out. No, actually, you know what, I'm gonna plant it. Look at that, me giving back to the community. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna need is 29 black terracotta. So if I remember correctly, terracotta is made from smelting clay blocks. So there's some clay right here I'm gonna grab. Alright, if I remember correctly, I just gotta stick it in the furnace. And I'm pretty sure that should just give me normal terracotta. And then after I have to dye it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. While that's smelting, you know, I have a silk touch and a fortune pickaxe. I have a silk touch and a fortune shovel. There's one more tool that I have that isn't silk touch and fortune, and it's actually my sword. So no, I'm just kidding. We're gonna make a fortune 3 axe. Also, you know, I've gone long enough. I've gone like over 300 days in game and over 30 episodes. So 41 emeralds for fortune 3. That dude is a rip off, man. Alright, where's our mending dude? Yeah, mending's only for 12, dude. You need to take from this guy. Man, he has his prices set cheap, dude. He's just trying to jip me out of my money. Alright, let's get this done with. I'm going crazy. No? You're not trading anymore? I don't even have enough emeralds for efficiency 5. Alright, I guess it's really gonna make me wait, huh? Wait, I'm gonna need more terracotta, I'm pretty sure. Okay, we're gonna grab 3 more clay blocks. Because I don't think I can do it with an odd number. I don't think I can dye terracotta with an odd number. You know, we're just gonna add 3 clay blocks in there anyway. If we can, oh well. You know, it's all gonna work out in the end. Alright, so I was right. I did have to make an even number of terracotta. So there we go. We have technically our 29, but we made 3 extra, so it doesn't hurt. Alright, so I know it says scaffolding on the material list, but I'm actually not going to need that until later when I build most of the beehives, because all the scaffolding is there for is to reach the higher levels, and I don't even have a first level finished, so we're going to wait and do that until later as well. The last 2 things we are going to need are dark oak doors and dark oak hanging signs. We're going to need 2 of the doors and 1 of the signs. And unfortunately, I don't have any more dark oak laying around, so we're going to go back and grab some more. What happened to this tree? I might have just grabbed some leaves from it. I don't know. That's weird. I'm actually going to place most of it in this chest because my inventory is slam full. I don't even know why. You know, and I thought a sorting system was going to fix this, but I guess not. Alright, so 2 doors isn't going to be too hard to make. I don't know how to make hanging signs. I need chains. Okay, and that requires iron nuggets, right? So let me type in chain. Let me do the cheating strategy. I don't have a chain yet. Isn't that how you make it, or is it? There you go. Okay, I just need 1 chain. Why is chain not showing? Oh. Okay, that would do it. And now I need to make it into a hanging sign. That's not a hanging sign. Oh, I need dark oak logs. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't make all that into planks then. Jeez, I didn't know it was that expensive. What? Does it need to be stripped? It really needs to be stripped, huh? Wow, I didn't know it went that into depth with it. That's crazy. But anyways, we are done with the build. We're done with the build? I sure hope we are. No, we're done with all the materials for the build. But before we build the build, I guess you could say, we're gonna go down here and we're gonna trade in our iron to get emeralds, to get our axe, and then we're gonna be at max tools pretty much. Alright, efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3. There we go. Alright, we're gonna do axe with efficiency 5, unbreaking 3 with mending, the axe with unbreaking 3 and mending, and the axe with fortune 3. And there we go. So when you comment, make sure you include a name for both the axe and the shovel, and this will let me know how I know you've seen this far in the video instead of just commenting the shovel's name. And yeah, like I said, the top comment is gonna be the name, as long as it is legal and appropriate. So I mean, you pretty much have free roam. Now that I'm looking at it, I completely forgot I don't have enough yellow wool. So I'm gonna hope I get enough on this go around, and if not, we're gonna have to wait a little longer. All right, let's take our guesses. Ooh, only 17. 20? All right, so we're at 96 wool and we need 110. So we're missing 14 blocks. So this shouldn't take too long, honestly. And so while we're here, I'm going to talk about my future plans. So after I build this bee farm, that's gonna give me honey. I need the honey as an alternate to slime blocks to make a sand and concrete and pretty much just any gravity block duper. Now I'm allowing this duper because it's not like an external glitch or an external exploit. It's something in the code and in the game. So as long as it's in vanilla Minecraft, I'm gonna allow it. It's honestly one of the coolest builds that I've ever done in most of my worlds. Just stay tuned for that, most likely in the next episode. One more. There we go. Alright, and now it is finally time to start building this. Alright, so like I said, before I build this, if you guys enjoyed this, please consider dropping a sub. We are so close to 500, and that would honestly mean the world to me if we can get it before the end of this month. I really appreciate you guys watching up until this point in the video, so stay tuned for the time lapse to come. Hey guys, how's it going? So this has definitely been one of, if not my favorite build that I've done in this world. I had a whole lot of fun designing this and a whole lot of fun building this, and I feel like it's gonna give my world, you know, that extra pop. So it's not just, you know, like boring old buildings sitting around. You know, we have like this little artsy thing, and in the future I'm gonna continue to do builds like that. Like I said, I'm gonna work on getting the bees off camera, and then over time I'm gonna add more and more beehives. And I know it's probably gonna take maybe a couple weeks to actually fill it up, but eventually it's gonna be full. But I also wanted to talk about some personal stuff. So I started this channel November of my senior year of high school, and I'm about to enter my first year of college. But I'm also a little nervous that I won't be able to record and edit the same way that I am. I mean, I still have almost a month before I move in, but once I move in, that's going to be a different story. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, but let's get back to the video. Oh, there it is. Oh, I love to see it, man. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know, the idea of a burrowed bee, it's kind of weird, but you know, I really like it at the same time, you know. So I have some dirt and some gravel from where he burrowed, or she, I don't know. And in here, we're gonna have a bunch of beehives up here, and of course we're gonna have some scaffolding in the middle, which I don't have up there quite yet, but it will eventually be there. So yeah, this is our little bee farm. It's not automatic by any means. I feel like I really just wanted to do, you know, a nice little design. And one of my favorite parts up here is if I go up, you can see a little stinger up top too. So just not my original design. I will post the inspiration picture, I guess, in the description. So once again, I really appreciate you guys so much for watching up to this point. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll see you.